start live, I don't know. I think it evokes something different. So everybody let's see if the numbers jump. So we're at 87 already. So everybody start texting 2 people and tell them to get on the phone. Okay. Let's stop the recording and then we'll start it once we get to 100. Look at this, 92.
Yay!
Hang on.
Lavish, text the Dunskies and tell them to jump on. I know Drew has a whole big team. Let's get those guys on.
I'm talking to Josh right now. I'm getting him on.
Awesome. Thank you. So I have to tell you guys that this is not planned, non-rehearsed. This is totally going to be off the cuff, but this has been on our hearts for so long, and we've been wanting to do something amazing. Just to combine, you know, I'm good at enrolling. Lisa's amazing when it comes to team building, and we really wanted to give something back to you guys and really just put you on this road and energy and momentum to success. I know that many of you guys are running to executive. I know with this whole Boom in June promotion, 100, wait, 99. Oh, come on back. 100.
We did it, right?
We did it on a Tuesday. Awesome. So, okay, let's get started. I'm going to give Lisa.
We're going to do a gallery view. There, now I can see everyone. Oh, Mark's on. Look, we have Australia, we have Canada, we have the US. Do we have any UK?
Yes, my girl Belinda is on. Wave your arms, Belinda. Unmute and say hello. You're unmuted.
Hello. Here she
Hello.
is.
Hello.
At, what time is it? 12:30 a.m.
She's
Yes.
amazing. And she just hit Crystal Manager.
Congratulations. Okay, so it's 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 a.m. Australia on, what's today? Wednesday, it's Thursday morning. We have the UK on at 12:30 a.m. And then we have us on all different time zones in the US. So isn't this amazing what we can do on a Zoom call?
Love it. Absolutely love it. And I love that we're...
Oh, Tracy Gazert's here too from the UK. Oh my gosh, you guys do it. She's doing a cleanse day, so she's all wired and energetic right now.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everyone out, and I'm going to properly introduce Lisa. And I think how we'll do it, Lisa, if there's no objections, maybe you interview me in the first part and ask what you think people want to know with respect to enrolling and connecting, and then maybe I'll interview you for the second part and ask questions that I think people want to know when it comes to team building and creating. Does that sound okay?
Perfect. You guys, we did not rehearse this. So this is how it really works when we're all hanging out and we're talking about enrolling people. So this is what it will be like next week at Top Achievers. And just so you all know, I'm recovering from strep throat. So this is why I sound like this. And I've been on calls all day, my first day back. So bear with me, losing my voice.
Okay, so let me go ahead and mute everyone out. I'm gonna unmute Lisa. My first event, I saw this incredibly inspirational woman. She stood on stage and she talked about, I don't know why I don't see her, Kim Cartwright. Can you mute your phone? For some reason, your screen is coming up. So I saw this incredibly inspirational woman, and she really moved me so much. I mean, this was a single mom of 3 kids from Long Island, from Queens. And, you know, just listening to her story, it just gave me so much hope, because this is someone who spoke real, spoke authentically, spoke from the heart, and you felt the determination, and you felt the passion, and you felt the drive in her heart. And she became the 93rd millionaire. And I said in my heart, I said, I've got to do this. And she has inspired me from day one. And today I'm lucky enough to call her my neighbor and one of my great, great friends. And she really is everything that you see on stage, everything that you see on the calls. She is that in real life. She is the busiest person I know. Her kids are doing soccer. Her kids are in gymnastics. Her kids do everything. And what I can tell you is you really can have it all. She has a beautiful book that talks about success and women and entrepreneurship. And it really can be anything that you make it, but you have to have the desire to make it. So help me welcome, please, Lisa Demayo.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And, right back at you, Ange. And what I love about you and your story, she didn't have network marketing experience, and none of us are born with it, right? So people will say, well, Lisa came over from another team. But I started one day by myself and built that team. And from that, was able to manifest what it is I want. And, we have the same company, the same products, the same system. The only difference between those of us who are making the money we desire and those of you who are wishing it is how you go about thinking about it. That is it. Everybody's waiting for someone else to lead them. I don't let anybody control my income. That's why I don't have a job. I didn't want somebody telling me this is how much you're worth. I was like, this is crazy. I spent all this time here. I'm making this company so much money, and this is how much I get paid. I'm going to determine my own wealth. I want to earn 7 figures in network marketing. And that became what I focused on. That became what I manifested. That became my everyday dialogue. That was not an easy conversation for me. We grew up broke. We were poor. We didn't know where the next check was coming from. And, so it was a choice. I either repeat that pattern or I break it. And it was really breaking through the mental barriers in my mind, the language that I have attached to money. And many of you have a lot of issues around a lot of money. And they better be really good issues, because if they're not, you have to reevaluate what you're thinking about so you can bring about it. Because everything that you have starts first with a thought in your head. Whatever you're manifesting, I loved my check this morning. This is like one of my biggest without pool money. This was actually the biggest one I've ever gotten this morning. And I earned that. That was like a year of work, working nonstop to the bone, giving up so much of my social life, my workouts, time, sitting here and working. How many of you got that ding this morning and you were like, I earned that. I earned it. And you have to be so proud about that. But here's what happens prior to the ding on the phone. A ton of no's, a ton of phone calls, a ton of work, a ton of all the stuff that's not glamorous. You go through Facebook and all you see is all these selfies of all these people who always look good, and you're posting all this stuff. You don't see the behind the scenes stuff. My desk is an absolute disaster right now. I'm in my pajamas from the waist down because I never finished getting dressed this morning and got on the phone, and my first day back, no, not joking. I am half in my pajamas because I never finished getting dressed. I had been on this phone all day long. It's my first day back in the saddle, 4 days knocked on my butt with strep throat. And I had a lot of makeup to do, a lot of phone calls to return, a lot of follow-up. How many of you are willing to do the follow-up? You go out, you talk to people, you prospect, you put the money, could be money, you put the number in your bag, in your pocket. You can't find it. You forget who it is. You pull it out. You're like, oh, the waitress from, I don't even remember what this is. You need a system. You need to be calling those people. You need to invite them to take a look at what we have. And I'll tell you, Ange, like you, my life was a train wreck prior to this. And I look at where I am now, and my kids just said, wow, was that divine? My daughter Victoria, she just was in the office asking me a question. She said, Mom, I don't know what that is, Ange. It's not me. I don't know what it is. My daughter said in school, they all Googled their parents. And she said, Mom, when we Googled you, one of the kids in the classroom said, your mom's a multimillionaire? And I was like, No, I don't know. Maybe she is. And she said, I got so nervous because I know you say don't ever talk about it. And we don't want to, you don't want to put that stuff out there and you want to earn it. And, that's their reality now, that their mom really is. And it's a result of making call after call after call after call and inviting into my energy people who are like-minded. And I never dummy it down. I never water it down. I never dummy down being part of a multi-billion-dollar company that can provide a lifetime of freedom. And all we're doing to someone is saying, get superfood nutrition in your body. Transform your body, and we can transform your life. And there's got to be, belief has a sound. So, that's what I've done. I've been very, very successful in 2 different companies. Building a massive team right now in the UK, looking to max out my second center. And I'm happy to answer whatever questions I can, Ange, to help move everybody else forward to have a piece of this massive pie. And, I think what we have to do is go into the mindset. We're all CEOs of our own company. You have this massive pie. You get to determine the amount of the slice, how big the slice is, by the effort you're willing to do. So just because you're invited to sit around the pie doesn't mean you get to take a piece of it. Just because you have an ID number and you drink shakes doesn't mean by being around us, you're automatically going to make money. And I think some people think if they hang out long enough, eventually it's going to happen. It only happens when you break down your own barriers of insecurity, of disbelief, of wherever you're lacking, to break through that comfortability that and grow and expand. And that part is so uncomfortable. It's not fun expanding. It's not fun growing in those areas. It causes a lot of vulnerability. You got to step up to the plate. But those are the people that succeed. Those are the people that really start to attract different people into their world. So what I want you all to think before Angela starts her interview is, who are you attracting into this? What kind of people? What are they saying? What do they look like? What do they sound like? How much are they worth? That is a mirror image of you. We attract what we put out. So if you're saying, I always get this and I always get that, you get to look at yourself and say, okay, so what is it about me that's evoking that? And where do I need to be different so I can attract people like Angela Maresca into my business? So I can attract a Lynn Hagedorn into my business, because we weren't born network marketers. We developed into this. So how do you attract those people who are willing to develop into that? You need to be that.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? You turning into that, Lee, it was not an overnight kind of thing. I mean, when your dad passed away, your mom was a single mom with 4 kids. You had 2 choices, be broke and stay where you are, or better yourself. And I don't know if people know this about you, but Lisa has been going to self-development courses since she's 19 years old. She would sign up for different companies just to go to their conferences so she can learn. So this woman that you see today, I mean, we don't come into Isogenics and, I feel strong, I'm brave, it takes work. Don't be afraid to embrace who you are. But the only way you're going to change, the only way you're going to get better is to work on yourself, is to really put in the work. Lisa's circle of friends, they're all positive. She doesn't hang out with negative people. She doesn't let that kind of stuff even into her environment. And that's how she presents herself in her business, and that's how people receive her. Right? So, if you're going to work on you, if you're going to work on yourself, if you're going to be brave enough to have those conversations, I think step 1 is doing it. Maybe start with the people that the people that you feel comfortable with. Just talk to them. You don't have to be weird. I'm eating these superfoods. I feel amazing. Who do you know that wants to feel this way? Is that how most people started, especially when you were in your previous company or now? Did you start speaking with people that you were familiar and comfortable with? Because for me, I literally went to all my friends on Facebook, but I never sat around and just waited. The growth the ranks, the advancements were important enough to me that I didn't stay in one position and wait. I always went after it. And I see that that's the drive and the determination in a lot of the millionaires in our company. They're like, okay, shoot, Instagram is not working. Let me try LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not working. I'm going to ask for referrals, or I'm going to try BNI, or I'm going to join a chamber of commerce. I think it's the being in action that creates this inertia of more action and more productivity. I see people who are in action, they're just there's positivity, there's attraction, there's things coming to them because of this vibe that they attract. Whereas you hear people that are like, I don't have anyone to talk to. I went through my list. All my friends are broke. I mean, there's such a difference in energy, don't you think? Oh, I don't know who's doing this. Susan, it's stop others. Yes, stop others from sharing their screen. I don't know what's going on here. People are screen sharing on me.
So, Angela, before I get into that, and I do want to coach all of you tonight if I have permission to do that, because what good is another Zoom if we don't have a breakthrough, right? And what would a breakthrough be? It would be to sponsor one person or 10 people, because we're doing this massive contest. You want to hear about that. But Angela, what people need to know about you, and if you're on her team, sometimes when something's so close, it's like, I could tell my kids something 10 times, then one of my friends comes in and they tell my kids one time and they listen. And I'm like, it's sometimes like that when you lead a team. You sponsored over 700 people in the last 4 years, and you don't have any prior network marketing experience. Where do you find the people? What do? You wake up in the morning. What does it sound like? Where do you go? What do you say to them? So let's go back day one and really that first, because I remember my first conversation was with Dee Gunderson and Joy Schoenholtz, who are now, Joy just maxed out her center at 8-star, and Dee is an ISA millionaire, just 220th ISA millionaire. They were my very first two people way back when. None of us had network marketing experience, and I remember the conversation. Tell me what you say to people.
Well, first of all, I have to have a goal. And when I signed up my mom and when I signed up my husband, not knowing anything about a compensation plan, just telling my husband, you look like crap. You're always exhausted. Try it. I shared it with them because I love them and I wanted them to feel better. When that $212 check came in the mail, I was blown away. I had no idea. And then I set a goal for myself. I said, okay, I watched Lynn's video. I Googled. Google was my coach. Google was my upline. I didn't have any kind of support, but I saw this curly-haired lady from Nebraska. She said there's more cows than people. And I said, I live in Brooklyn. There's a heck of a lot more people than cows. And she talked about the tracks to run on. And I said, this has to be my track. And I said, okay, now I'm C. I've got a week and a half left to get to M. Find it, set a goal. Once you have your goal and you know what you need to do, you go. So what I do now is I've printed my entire Facebook list. It's literally right here, every name on Facebook, and I message them. I'm looking for an entrepreneur. I see that you do real estate. Would you be open to talking sometime? I'm just asking people to talk. I do Zumba. I do CrossFit. I get my eyebrow. You and I went out to dinner. We were talking to the waitress. I couldn't believe it. You said hello. You made small chit chat. She said, would you believe I just lost 100 pounds? You and I were like, Lisa said, I help people. I help people with the same. They're humans everywhere. It's up to you to set a goal, talk to people, present. And look, if I've signed up 700 people, guys, I've probably spoken to about 3,000, 4,000 people. You got to talk to people. There's people everywhere. Go to the MAC counter. They give you free makeup. They do a makeup application. Talk to the girl. Is this all you do, or do you do something else? Are you open to another stream of income? You would be amazing at what I do. There's people around everywhere. How many of you guys are in Target or Walmart and you see someone drinking a Red Bull, raise your hand if you've ever seen someone eating it and exhausted and you so just want to tell them and something holds you back. I don't hold back. I don't hold back because I know there's a mother suffering, struggling. I know there are kids that are impacted because the mom is 40 pounds overweight and doesn't have the energy. The first few times, it was hard. I was nervous. I was scared. I sat at Crayola Factory and I said to Serge, okay, should I say something or shouldn't I? Should I tell her or shouldn't I? And he's like, just get up and talk to her already. You know, call that friend. You know, get over the anxiety because it's as many people as I've talked to, nobody's ever given me the, nobody's cursed me. They've either said no or no thank you or sure, I'd like more information. So what are you so afraid of? The life of your dreams is waiting on the other side. All you have to do is talk. And I just talk to people, Lisa. I'm always adding people on my friends, on my Facebook friends where I can drip the information on them. I'm engaging in different activities like maybe a yoga class or CrossFit. Isagenix has allowed me to do things that I never would have done in my past. I mean, if somebody says, do you want to go to a trampoline park or do you want to do trapeze? I'm like, okay. I've become so much more open. Ah, my baby. So that's where I find people. There are human beings everywhere. Oh, you're muted. Why are you muted? Oh, good Lord. I was wondering why you're so quiet. You're never that quiet, Lisa. Hold on. What the heck is with this Zoom? Where now I can't find her. Okay. Manage participants. Manage participants. Hold on, I'm scrolling. This is so okay, Lisa. There you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. So I tried to unmute myself. Well, I muted myself because Victoria's in the office printing stuff out and I think I locked it or something. So here's what I heard you say. Be bold or be broke. Yeah. That's what I heard you say. You know, in Marcy, I was reading the chat as Angela was talking, you said, oh my gosh, to get out of my comfort zone. Oh, how many of you feel that way? So think of it like this. If you can switch it in your mind, let's just switch your mind, the way you think about something. You just learned how to think that way, that's difficult. But I started to train myself to think differently. And I would think like this. It's not about me. It is about the person in front of me. And if it's not about me, I get to check my stuff and leave it back here. This is not about me. This is about changing lives. This is about transforming lives. This is about being responsible for the incredible text messages that you get all day long where people say, I am so grateful for you. I don't even know this girl, Amy. She just sent me a text from the UK and she said, it was because something you said inspired me to just go 2-star Crystal Executive. I don't even know what that means. Amy McDermott. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
You know her?
Yeah, she was congratulated today by Zach. I was so excited. We saw her in the UK group.
So apparently I evoked something in her for her to send me this really long thank you note about what I did. And obviously there was something I said on a call or something that I probably didn't feel like doing that night. I probably didn't feel like doing another Zoom, getting my brain picked, answering another question, but I did it anyway. And you have people every day who are in front of you who probably would rather be doing something else, but they show up and they serve you anyway. That's your job, people. That's your job. When you sit in front of someone drinking a Diet Coke, that's your chance to be a servant leader. That's your opportunity to say, you know, I can teach you how to drink stuff that's actually amazing for your body, and you can get paid on it instead of making McDonald's rich. You have an opportunity. You like that, Craig, huh? I can actually hear you laughing even though you're muted. He's like cracking. You heard him laugh too, right? Because it's so contagious. So that's your job. We all have a job and a role in this. Although there's no real boss, we wake up And you need to write down, be bold or be broke. And the only way you make cash is at consultant level. So when people say, hey, I can't find my two, well, then don't get paid. Just be a customer, use the product. But the rest of us will benefit from that. So why wouldn't you want Isagenix to pay you for using the product? It's not hard to do. We've trained ourselves to think a certain way that we make it more difficult than it actually is, because she's got to print now while I'm in here. You know how this goes. It doesn't change when they're 13 and 15. I did network marketing way back when they were 2 and 4 in another company on conference calls. They would be crying and whatever in the office. Now they're printing out their reports that are due tomorrow. She's had off for 4 days. But she laughs. So you get to choose how long you want to stay trapped in the conversation you have made up about what's comfortable and what's not. Because it's all made up. You ask me that conversation, it doesn't exist for me. You ask Angela, she has a different conversation. So you either get to change the conversation you have, or your financial circumstance and your body will stay exactly where it is. Because we are a result of all the choices we make every single day. And every little one matters. Every step, you're either moving toward that goal or away from that goal. And you're in 3 places in your business at all times. You're either in justifying, blaming, or building. One of the 3. You can't be in a little bit of each. You're either justifying, you're blaming, or you're building. I'm building. And I spent, not this year, the year before, justifying. I built a good team. I make enough money. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm going to spend more time with the kids. It was a million things going on in my head not to go out and talk to somebody else. And the second I was like, okay, this isn't good. I haven't rank advanced. I'm not moving forward. I'm not leading by example. What am I teaching my kids? I need to sit down and have an honest conversation and get out of justifying and move forward. And then I listened to my team blame their circumstance. If this wasn't like this, if I wasn't on this leg, if I was enrolled with her and not him, my sponsor quit, we don't have Zooms the way they have Zooms. Who's that serving? And you know what I always say to people? If you don't like what's being given to you, step up to the plate, enroll more people than us, make more money than us, and do it yourself. Yeah. That's the beautiful part about this. It could be self-generative. You don't need anybody to lead you. You can do it on your own. And that's how we have to think about this. We are the CEOs of our own company. We don't have to follow anybody else's lead. I do, because I look at the people who are more successful than me. They understand time management better than me. They make more money than me. They've enrolled more people than me. Angela's enrolled more people than me. She can teach me something about myself. I sit with her and I go, I don't do that. I don't talk to every single person. Every time I'm with her, I'm looking at myself going, I don't do that. I can be better at that. I'm not judging her. I'm extracting what I need from her. I'm extracting what I need. We have to let go of the judgment we have around our circumstance, around who's giving us the information, about how we hear it. Because the second you guys can control that, you can start to make more money. Abundance opens up. You got to be willing to break down the way you've always heard something, the way that you always see things. What are you engaged in? What are you enrolled in? What are you believing in? What do you talk to people about on the phone? When somebody hangs up on the phone with you, are they like, I'm gonna rock it out and she inspires me and I'm so pumped up? Or are they like, wow, I don't know if this is gonna work. This is really hard. Who are you in this game? What do you do for other people? You don't need to be making the money or have the body yet to give back, to move people forward. And the more you're moving people forward, the bigger your energy gets, the more comfortable you are with that, the easier it is to go talk to somebody next to you online in Target. But you need to be practicing that energy every second of the day. You can't just turn it on and all of a sudden be like, okay, positive energy, show up for me right now when you were, not all that 3 hours ago. It's a rise in vibrational energy that happens all the time. And I have really bad days. It wasn't fun getting strep throat on Memorial Day weekend and the kids driving me nuts and all this stuff going on. But I'm still a joyous person. I still have a very high vibrational energy. It doesn't mean that I am not without bad days or moments. It means I can recognize them, acknowledge them, kind of push them back and move forward with elegance, with grace, with ease, with all the stuff I like in my life, not crazy chaos. So you guys have a choice, but it's all here. It's all here. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. You are a victim of your own circumstance. Nothing has happened to you. This is the life you chose, you designed, you created. Every single thing in your life has been a result of choices at this stage in the game. It's all your own choices. Absolutely. What you were born into, and it's a whole other story. But if you're still holding on to that, that's your choice too. And you could have two people tell the same story about how they grew up, and one used it to move them forward, and someone's still using it to be their story to hold them back.
Yeah, absolutely. But every day you wake up and you have an opportunity to change your life, you're either going to be a victim or you're going to be a success story. And anytime I feel funky, anytime I'm like, oh, I'm having a terrible week, you know what? Get to work. Get to work. Say, I'm going to have 3 conversations, 3 follow-ups. I'm going to go out and meet 3 new people today. Anytime you set a goal for yourself and you go out and you hit it, you feel good about yourself. You make yourself proud, right? How many days do you wake up on a Monday and you're like, I don't want to go to the gym, and you literally force yourself to go to the gym and you walk out of there, you're like, yeah, I crushed it. That's how you have to do isogenics. Look, Monday is laundry day. Tuesday, kids have soccer. Wednesday, husband's home sick. Every day you can have an excuse not to do it. Or you can make it your business to do it. Every day you can make it your business to have a conversation. If you would have, guys, 2 conversations a day, every day, that would be 700 conversations a year. If you can have 70 conversations a year, even if you stink, even if you don't have the verbiage, even if you don't have the confidence, you will grow your belief system. You will enroll approximately 50 to 70 people. Being in action makes you better. It's not enough that you use the excuses. Lisa did this with 3 babies. Sometimes she didn't always have support from her family. When she left one company and came to another, was it all peaches and cream? No, she gave up a top tier income to start over. And I really firmly believe that the people in Isogenics are givers. For Lisa, financially, I honestly can say that between 11 star and 13 star, it makes no difference. When you're okay, you're okay. But you keep going, you keep doing, because you promise to serve others. You promise to help others, right? People who started with her from the very beginning. I'm not going to stop until Ed Golden hits millionaire. She's not going to stop until Susie hits millionaire. When you started this, you started with people and you said, we're going to do this together. And that's why you don't quit. It's not about the stars or the rank. It's about going first and showing your team that if I can do this, you can do this. Lisa hit millionaire number 93. Took me 3.5 years, I hit 193. And that was such a proud moment, because I was like, girl, we didn't even know each other. Find somebody to inspire you. Find somebody to follow. Find someone to pick their brain. Isogenics people, they're so lovely. You can message them. Most people will give you their time. Listen to the podcast. Get to a meeting. There's so many ways to get unstuck. The excuses are just BS. And honestly, when you see your husband suffering, working 14-hour days, coming home with truck oil and dirt under his nails that he can't scrub off, that's why I get to work. Because I want him to have choices. I was blessed with Isogenics. Who am I going to bless with this now? This is a miracle. This is a gift. No resume required. The only thing you have to do is wear your heart on your sleeve and your passion up front. That's it. They don't care what religion you are. They don't care if you're a man or a woman. There's no glass ceiling. Anybody can be a millionaire. Do you know what that's like, telling a young woman from Brooklyn that you're going to be a millionaire? Do you know how long, how much I have to talk to myself to say, I'm worth it, I deserve this, I'm not going to sabotage myself? It's so easy to say, it's not me, I don't fit into that role, I'll never be her. It's so easy to wake up and talk down to yourself. You have to practice gratitude. You have to practice the affirmations, especially if you're a parent, because you have little eyes that are watching you, right? And I mean, you know, guys, through residual income with a cycle a week, we're all eventually going to be millionaires. Eventually. It's a good company, but it's up to you. Do you want to crush this thing in 3 years, or do you want to take 23 years to do it? I mean, I see people, you know, coming to Celebration and it says manager on their name tag. And I say, well, how long have you been doing this? And they tell me 7 years. And I want to say, man, what the heck are you waiting for? You have something magnificent. You know, it's an incredible opportunity. And if we're not taking advantage of it each and every day, talking to people, blessing people, growing ourselves, what the heck are we waiting for? I mean, you guys are on the call because you want something bigger. You want something more. You know, whether it's freedom to travel, whether it's freedom to retire your spouse, whether it's getting out of corporate America, you have the options right here. But if you're not using this list, if you're not talking to everyone you know, if you're too scared, you're simply holding yourself back. And I got to tell you something. You know, there's people that are going to say funny stuff, and there's people that are going to think negatively, and it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you, because people who are successful, people who realize the amount of abundance, they're happy for other people that are succeeding. So if people are going to talk smack about you, guess what? They're going to do it if you're broke, and they're going to do it if you're a millionaire. I tell you, it's a lot better if they're talking about you because you're at the top of the mountain.
You know, it's wrapping your head around that this is a reality, that it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a brain surgeon. It doesn't matter if you were cleaning houses. It doesn't matter if you were a C student. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And Angela, you just said it beautifully. It's if you're willing to wear your heart on your sleeve. And you guys, you know, my brother and I were talking about this, and he goes, oh my gosh, this person just gets it. Like, it's so refreshing when someone just gets it. And he goes, Lisa, why don't people get it? And I said, oh, it's not that they don't get it. They get it. They're just comfortable with mediocrity. They're just comfortable with it. They're comfortable with all of it. They're comfortable with, this is what I know. This is what I'm comfortable with. Some people are comfortable with struggle. They're comfortable with knowing this is familiar, that I struggle with the bills. It's really a weird shift when you start making this kind of money. It's a weird shift. Like, you go through this transformation, and you have to get to a point in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. It is the only thing that will move you. What I make, what Angela looks like, what this one does, what that one says, is not going to motivate anybody. It comes to a point where the stack of bills is so much heavier than picking up the phone. You have to determine what your mediocrity is and what you're willing to release. Only you can determine that. I was so tired of being sick and tired and leaving my kids in daycare and struggling with, you know, I had 3 kids in diapers, a full-time job, and started network marketing. Actually, I had 2 because I was pregnant with my son, and brand new to network marketing, signed up my previous company, was working a full-time job in the day and a nighttime job coaching on the weekends, and Gianna and Victoria were 2 and 4, and I was pregnant. And that's how I started my first company. And I was exhausted. But I was more tired struggling with the job and the babies and the daycare and driving and getting up to an alarm clock when it was dark and coming home when it was dark and living for the weekend so I could just food shop, clean my toilet, get a manicure and go back to work on Monday. It was like, this sucks. I don't want this kind of life. And all I wanted in the beginning was enough money to pay somebody to clean my toilet and do my laundry. And that's what I said. I am going to do this until I have enough money that I will never do laundry again. I hate it. And I will never clean toilets again. And that started somebody else wanting that. And that started somebody else wanting that. And then it was like, well, now I don't want my kids in daycare. I don't want to do my day job anymore. And then my goals kept getting bigger. But what got me to move was I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was so tired. I was in pharmaceutical sales of freezing in the 18-degree weather in the heart of the winter, too fat, pregnant to shut my coat, to zipper my coat up, freezing, and then I'd sweat in the car. And then I'd be freezing and I'd sweat in the car and getting the packages out, pregnant, in and out of doctor's office. I'm like, what am I doing? I can do this network marketing thing. Of course I can. And then I get in a company and I skyrocket, overnight, because I had the work ethic and I was so done with being mediocre. I was done. I was done working like a freaking dog with 2 kids, done with it. And I poured my heart, and Craig laughs because you were never pregnant, changing diapers, and you guys don't know what that feels like. Sweating, the hormones, everything. And all you want to do is relax. And I couldn't because I needed the money. And I'm like, this is insane. This is not normal. And people think what we do is weird. There was nothing normal about it. And I was just sick and tired of being a slave to work. And that was enough to motivate me. You guys need to find what motivates you. What are you sick and tired of? You got to be so sick and tired. You got to keep saying it over and over and over again, whatever your stuff is. You're sick of looking at your gut. You're sick of looking at those bills. You're sick and tired. You have to get to the point where you're like, I'm done with it. Smash it, break it, get rid of it, and then say, what's going to shift me there? And from that place, you'll see, talking to the lady drinking the Diet Coke becomes really easy.
Yeah. And you don't have to be perfect. Lisa didn't have a tremendous weight loss story. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. Being a coach is having a big heart. It's caring about people. Being a great coach is falling down 20 times and getting back up 21. That's what it takes to be a cheerleader and support someone on this journey. Not a perfect body, not that we're story sharers, right? You can't possibly relate to every single story. Go to Isabati, learn some of the stories, look at some of the testimonies, talk with some of the people on your team. If I don't have an athletic story, I'm not a gym buff, I called my friend Kelly Calabrese. If I'm looking for a story where a successful single mom, I call Lisa. This is about sharing the stories of others. Please don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect moment, the perfect body, because I can tell you facts. There's a lot of Isogenics millionaire that don't have the perfect body, but they do have a heart of service and a heart of passion. And I remember Lisa told me a story about how this one mom, just made her feel terrible, like laughed at her and was like, you're selling products out of your trunk. She's like, I wouldn't be doing that. Look at all the time you're away from your kids. And then years later, you saw this woman and there she is, like unhappy, unfulfilled. And there you are with all this time freedom. Don't think
this is what she said to me.
How awful.
This is what she said to me. And this was like my 3rd person I had prospected. She said to me, let me ask you a question. Don't you have a full-time job and aren't you working at night? And I was a full-time pharmaceutical rep and I was coaching at night and we were still broke. And I said, yeah. And she said, and now you're going to do this other thing on the side. And she just listened. And at that time, her husband was making a lot of money and she was home with her kids and I was never home. And I said, but this is going to get me out of my circumstance. Like I'm painting the dream. And she said, I'm going to stay home with my kids because that's what real mothers do. And that was all. Yeah, Craig, I could hit your tonsils with an M&M right now. Yes. She said that. And I went home bawling. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to freaking make it. And I'm going to help so many people do it too. I am going to help so many people. Like, get out of my way. Just get out of my way. Either come with me or I'll trample you, but get out of my freaking way. And that was it. And I built this empire in that other company. And then I realized it's right industry, wrong company. And I walked away from it because I wanted to be a part of Isogenics. And then I had to do it all over again. And, you know, it's unfortunate. Now she's working. She's actually working in a nursing home, cleaning old people. And then thank God for people like that, right? Because you never know who's going to be needing somebody like that in their life. It's not what I would want to be doing. I want to write a check. I want to, you know, send money overseas. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I want to be at my kids' graduations. When my son is sick, I want to be the one, because he loves going to the nurse once a week. We go visit her. We have to talk about this all the time. I want to be the one to go pick him up. I want to be the one to say to my kids, yes, we're going to London, and yes, you're coming for 2 weeks. Last year, they went to Australia and Hawaii, and all they're learning every day is perseverance, commitment, dedication. They get this. They watch me. They cheer me on. The whole night that I went, that last week or 2 weeks ago when I rank advanced, they're like, did you do it yet, Mom? Did you do it? And my son kept saying, Mom, just believe it. Believe it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Come on. We're doing this. He was like my rock star that night. What am I teaching them?
Yeah, the reason why I bring it up is because I don't know a single successful person who hasn't cried over their business, or who hasn't experienced frustration, or who hasn't gotten their feelings hurt. The difference is you don't quit. You keep going. You have two options. You either go for it and give it all you got, or you give up and you prove them right. Lisa's gotten her feelings hurt so many times.
One of my friend's husbands just posted on my Facebook page, I think you joined a cult. And I'm like, you're both working full-time jobs. Whatever. Like, keep your opinions to yourself. And I didn't block it. I didn't do anything with it. Let him sit in his opinion. I cannot pay my bills with someone's opinion. I just can't. And you guys, you will realize there will be a shift in energy around you. You'll still have the same friends. I have all my same friends that I grew up with. I don't necessarily have the same things in common with people. And there's a shift that will happen as you're more and more in this community and you're surrounded by people who are saying, you look beautiful, you're amazing, that was so incredible, go for it, I'm so proud of you. And then you go back to your old life, your old way of being, your old circumstance, and in that is inclusive of friendships, right, and people. And they're the same way, but you're constantly changing. And then you're like, they don't get it. Accept them and love them where they are and appreciate your own growth and your journey. So I always love that, and I always look at that as an opportunity for me to be grateful and to say, you know, I'm so comfortable in this community. I love this. This feels normal.
It's such a great community. I got a text today, and I don't even know who it's from. It says, "Your consistent positive influence in my life. I'm working on my struggles that have been a part of me. It's hard to break old habits, but your consistency, your positive passion, and your inclusion of most everything helps me in ways that you may never know. I'm blessed that the Lord has allowed us to cross paths." I mean, in my old job, I worked for Child Protective Services. I never got a candle. I never got a card. I never got a thank you. And I was out there investigating child abuse in low-income homes. Very dangerous. Here I do a team call. Cindy Walters sends me a card. Susie sends me flowers. Lauren Sims gives me candles. This is a beautiful culture. And, you know, Kathy Savage said, it's almost like a little private secret TV show. And if we're lucky enough, we'll let you in. You know, this This is a club. This is a cult of the most positive, most awesome, most influential, inspirational people that I've ever met. You know, my ex-husband gave me a very difficult time. He said, you're going to bring Isabella out of school. You're going to bring her to Texas. You know, that event that I brought my daughter to, we sat there and we listened to David Woods tell the story about how he led a pack of people through song up Mount Kilimanjaro. And one team was like passing out on the mountain and getting sick because of the elevation and the oxygen levels. Whereas with his team, through conversation, through singing, through connection, he led this team of misfits up to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And I can't tell you how much it meant to me and my daughter to sit there and listen to this story of love, of friendship, of community support. This is the type of stuff that you don't learn in school. My daughter got to spend a week in Rome and Paris with Kathy Coover. Where in my life, from Brooklyn, New York, on food stamps, where on earth would I have been given the opportunity to bring my kid and show her the Colosseum and the top of the Eiffel Tower? It's not the money. It's about the life that you can create because of the money. It's about the things that you can do. I remember Lisa telling me a story as her friend was dying and she was sitting in the hospital room spending the last few days with her friend and watching people hustle and bustle around Manhattan. And Lisa had a pivotal moment where she thought, how lucky am I that I can sit here and spend this time and give my friend everything I have in her last days. People don't get to do that. Drew Berman's, his mother-in-law was dying. And Drew called up Kathy Coover and said to Kathy, are we going to be financially okay? And Kathy, our founder, looked in his back office and said, you're going to be okay. And Drew gave his wife permission to quit her job and spend the last days with her dying mom. That's what this is about, right? It's not about a 5-figure check every week. It's about giving back. It's about the great things that you can do. It's about influencing people and inspiring people to live a life less ordinary. If you're tired of punching a clock, do something about it. If you enjoy it, that's okay. Drink the shakes. But if you believe that there's something more out there, you deserve bigger, you deserve better, you're destined for more. There is no better company in the world. There are no better founders. There are no better leaders to learn from than here with Isagenix. I mean, Jay Bennett told us the story of how he went through 19 different network marketing companies. Jay Bennett knew this was a great industry. He used to sell pantyhose, Jay Bennett. And when he found Isagenix, he said, I truly found gold. And if you are here, and if this is the first company, thank your lucky stars that you didn't have to go through all the other crap that Lisa and so many people have gone through. The pain, the hurt, the building the organizations, the watching it fall apart because the company didn't stand in integrity. If you're here, thank your lucky stars. You know, what you do with this opportunity is up to you, but it's like you have a lotto ticket. You have the coin. And you're not going to take the time to scratch it. You're not going to take the time to look for the right people, have those conversations. This is not work. This is a blessing. This is pleasure every day to tell people what I know.
You know, you guys, the company's doing some amazing things for us. And if you haven't been in another company, you have no idea how amazing this company is. And, you know, I had that privilege of seeing both sides. And there is no other company like it out there. And this all sounds amazing. And if you feel filled up right now, and how many of you feel like, oh my gosh, I can feel this. I feel this call. I feel this passion. But if you don't go out there and give it away, then we're just stingy product users, right? Because the company can't grow with just some of us consuming shakes on our own. We're either a stingy product user who's like, no, I'm all good. I have my little piece of the world, I'm okay. Or we're generous enough to go out there and invite somebody else to hear this. And can you imagine is like this world where there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people who have this kind of mindset, who come from this place in their heart. You know, when people come from a place of abundance, one less house gets robbed, one less person gets raped, one less taker in the world is taking, and more people are giving. And that's up to us. And we need to stand together in this crazy world that we're in, as Victoria continues printing, this crazy world, and stand for transformation. And we have the power to do that. And you don't know what someone else is going through. You won't know until they're in 6 months, 8 months, they feel comfortable and they start sharing and they tell you, you don't know what happened, but you called me at a time in my life when. And you can, for the rest of your life, go to sleep and put your head on the pillow and know you are directly responsible for that person's transformation, whatever caused them to shift, because you were bold. That's what we do. So there's an incredible, incredible challenge that's going to be announced. Is it even out there? I've known about it because I'm on the Field Advisory Board.
Yeah, it's out now. It started May 29th. They actually gave us 2 additional days. There is free shipping for every order with 100 BV or more for all preferred or associates. Free shipping until June 4th. And from the 29th until June 30th, there is a great contest going on. So step 1, you have to have your ticket to Celebration. Step 2, you've got to make your list and get into action. And 150 BV, Diana. A person must enroll with 150 BV, and they will receive free membership, $29 off until June 4th. Now, if you enroll I believe it's 5 to 7 people, free enrollment, Maria, not free shipping. If you enroll 5 to 7 people, you will get $200. If you enroll 8 to 9 people, you will get free 4 nights at the Venetian Palazzo for Celebration, plus $200. And if you enroll 10 people, you will get all 3 prizes. $200, a meet and greet with Jim and Kathy and a photo opportunity, and 4 nights at the Palazzo. And you know what? I mean, the time with Jim and Kathy is priceless. Anytime you have an opportunity to pick their brain, please go for it. But you know what 10 people for me in the month of June means? Means fire in my organization. It means new life, new blood, new excitement. Guys, the 10 people that you bring on today, nurtured properly, can bring you 6 figures tomorrow. You want to bring in a lot of people at once. Bringing 1 a month. It's slow. It's painful. There's no excitement, no energy. You get 10 people together. You link them up. You say, this is your accountability partner. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. There's so much excitement going on. Yes, this is for USA. This is North America only. This is not for the UK. Information will be on ISA FYI, isafyi.com. You guys can read about all the rules. But this is a time to gun it. What the heck are you waiting for? They're giving you cash, hotel room, and really a chance to light up your organization. So
yeah, and you know what? So it is for North America. So it's America and Canada. But for Australia, for the UK, for Mexico, for the people who will listen to this Zoom, that one life that you enroll as a result of the inspiration you got from this call, you don't know what's going to happen. And they do different promotions in different countries at all different times. You want to get a team together. So even if you're not being quote unquote rewarded with this, do it alongside us. Challenge yourself, own it, and do it anyway. Because the team that you create during this next month can be the team that puts your kids through college 10 years from now. It's amazing what happens as true exponential growth takes over. And, you know, I think about the conversations that I had way back when, and I look at where these people are now, 7-star, 8-star, 6-star, maxed out. I remember those conversations. So get really clear, write down your goal. How many conversations? Angela said 2 per day will give you 700 per year. It is not hard to reach out to 2 people per day. But here's the thing, you have to follow up with them. So thank you, Angela. I have another Zoom at 8:30. I got to jump off this call.
Love you.
I love you more. We live on the same block in 2 different towns. She was 193. I was 93. It's like our lives are parallel. We are not financially linked. We chat all day long. We're working together. Our kids love each other. It's amazing that my best friends came through this vehicle called Isogenics. And it's just, I don't know. I can't even say enough about it. It's so far beyond the money. In the beginning, I get it's about the money because so many of you want to quit your jobs. So many of you are worn to the bone figuring out how to juggle all of this. And I don't know how I did it. I just did it. I didn't sleep. I just worked myself nonstop until I hit those goals. And you just have to figure out your sacrifice. You got to give up what you have to have what you don't, and make a really clear inventory. Write it down. I gave up the gym. I gave up a lot of stuff in the beginning. I didn't socialize. I didn't do anything but work. And then when I came over to Isogenics, it was 4 months, same black cargo pants, a knot on my head like this. I sat with earbuds in my ear, and all I did was work. And people were talking about their cleanse days and their this, and I didn't even have time. I was like, what are they talking about? Just work, just sponsor people. I was like a lunatic because my back was against the wall. I was divorced, 3 kids, and no money. So what was I supposed to do? Figure out how I feel 2 days on a cleanse day before I was going to talk to somebody? I had no choice but to get busy working.
Thank you for being such an inspiration. Thank you for being one of these just magnificent women in my life. I mean, I know how many you've inspired tonight. 150 people on a Tuesday at 7:30 is amazing, with strep throat and everything. I love you, and I thank you for your servant heart and everything you do and everything that you are in our lives.
Thank you for getting on the call, everybody, because it would just be me and Angela having the same conversation. So I appreciate you and allowing us the opportunity to give back. So let's just go out and make this happen so we have results, and we don't just have a nice idea. Let's make results happen. Angela, thank you for putting it together.
Thank you, Lisa. Love you, Victoria. Good night, everyone. Thank you for making the time to be with us. You guys are rock stars. Go out there and own it. Own it. Good night, everyone. Look at Craig smiling. What a contagious smile.
I love Craig. I want to bottle the energy.
Susie, I love you.
Love Susie. Love all the comments. Generous comments. Oh, Susie, they saw you. Forget it. Now they're going to want to Snapchat.
You want to see Victoria? Yeah, say hello quick. Say hi, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
You see her?
Say hi.
They're freaking out.
So I got to get on a Zoom. Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.